Welcome to the Alt-Right Power Hour. I'm your host, Gail Thomasman. Now, this episode is a very special one. My guest has worked as a data entry specialist at Breitbart.com, and he currently works for the public image team at the Trump White House. My guest, the esteemed Peter Vanderpeet IV.
You're welcome.
You're only 25 years old. You've had some very cool jobs. How did you get started at Breitbart?
Well, my father was squash partners with Andrew Breitbart, so I got the job through him. Andrew had the nerve not to welcome me onto the job within my first few weeks, so I barged into his office, berated him. He didn't respond. I took his pulse and discovered he was dead.
That's so cool. And what kind of work did you do at Breitbart?
Well, I was the best data entry specialist they had. In 2015, I received an award as the best conservative data entry specialist by CPAC, and you might remember my keynote speech during which I said behind every great conservative data entry specialist is a 12-year-old Asian kid doing his work.
I do remember that speech. What cool stuff happened at Breitbart?
Anything you'd expect from a top media outlet. Sometimes Mr. Bannon would assign me on blind dates in his office and watch them in the closet while I treated them mean, but that was completely within his right because he was my boss.
So how did you go from working at Breitbart to working for the president?
Well, Mr. Trump came to Breitbart in 2015 for a secret meeting with Mr. Bannon. I'll never forget. He asked me, "Would you kill for me?" Of course I said. He then asked me, "Would you die for me?" Of course I lied and said yes. He then said, "I know you're lying," and he hired me on the spot.
It must have been hard when Steve Bannon got fired and you're left working for the guy who fired him.
You would think so. But it was kind of like when my parents divorced. I just sided with the one with more money.
And from what I hear, you have been killing it at the White House. You've been behind some of the biggest ideas.
Well, I've pitched a few winners the president's way. Extra long neckties, that was me. The Stormy Daniels affair, that was also me. Mocking that handicapped disabled New York Times reporter, guess who? Me.
That was such high concept comedy.
The man does phenomenal impressions. How do you think he got cast on SNL?
Was that also you?
No, I pushed for him to host Key and Peele. He also does a fantastic Obama impression. I mean, it is like you are in the room with Tracy Morgan.
And what kind of stuff are you pitching the president right now?
Well, the stock markets have been volatile lately. Tell me, what is the most effective way to stabilize the markets, earn investor confidence, and supercharge the economy?
T-shirt.
War.
So like a war with North Korea?
That would be too obvious, but posture this notion. What do the president's detractors call him? A racist. How can we prove that Trump is not a racist? War with Switzerland. It's brilliant. They don't even have an army. So we kill some white people and we steal their Rolexes.
That is genius. But what would the war be fought over?
Who cares? Our cheese is better than their cheese.
That's so cool. I would love to work for the president.
Stand up. No chance. Too short. Too ugly.
Come on, I'd do a great job.
I'd put in a good word, is what I'd say if I cared enough to lie.
Well, thank you for being here. I'm going to ask one more question and then we'll get to some mailbag questions. What is the president working on currently?
Well, look, Trump is always looking forward to the next big thing. He's always focused on the next high-profile firing. He's also trying to fix things with putting.
Putin.
No, putting. His short game, golf.
Okay, well, I'm going to take some questions. I'd love it if you would stay.
Fine.
Thank you. What do the colors on the alt-right flag represent? So the white is for honor and valor. The black is for dignity and patriotism. And then the green is for Pepe the Frog.
Learn something new every few months.
You know what's wild? I know all about the alt-right flag. I know what the colors represent. I couldn't tell you what the colors represent on Old Gortney.
What?
The Star Spangled Bunter, the American flag.
Oh, that one I got. Blue for From Sea to Shining Sea, red for the Republican Party, and white for the Republican Party.
That makes a lot of sense. Would you like to take a stab at the questions?
Sure. Are you a virgin? No. I buy sex all the time.
I think that is for me. Let's do another question. Oh. Who would you like to see succeed President Trump? Personally, I'd definitely like to cast a vote for Piers Morgan in my lifetime.
Well, I think there are a number of excellent candidates who could succeed Trump if and when he's ready to step down. Could Barron Trump be the first kid president? I think so. Could Jared Kushner be the first Jew president? Potentially. But the clear and obvious winner, in my opinion, is Ivanka as the first female queen president woman.
If you're selling it, I'm buying it.
Well, I'm glad me being here was such a thrill for you, Gail.
Thank you for joining me, and thank you to the viewers for watching at home. Now, if you'd like to support the show, please donate to Flump. Flump is an organization that has been working for decades to oppose and antagonize the ACLU. So please donate, and please continue to watch the Alt-Right Power Hour.